Teja Gerken with Peghead Nation, and I'm here with the new LR Synapse personal PA system. The LR Synapse is a brand new system that's designed for all kind of acoustic performers, whether you're plugging a guitar into it with a pickup like I am right now, or you're playing any other instrument that you're using microphones for, or you're a vocalist, need to sing through a system. This is kind of like an all-in-one miniature PA. It's quite powerful. It has 500 watts of power, and it's really designed to be a single source speaker to fill really up to a medium-sized room. LR has been working on the design of the Synapse for a few years, and there are several unique design elements to it that make it different from most other compact PA systems. Probably the most significant part of that is that it uses an all-horn design, and that means that there's a very finely tuned horn design that is placed in front of the drivers of the unit, and it creates not only a very smooth frequency range. What they really wanted to avoid is sort of the separation of the high-end tweeter and the low-end woofer, which can sometimes be audible, to really make it one smooth inherent sound, but also to create a system that had 180-degree dispersion. So you could use just one of these. You don't need two speakers. You can have one of these speakers, and it really disperses the sound very evenly, much more so than most systems, which really kind of fire the sound up front with maybe a little bit to the sides. But this really is designed to fill a complete room with just one system. Okay, so I've got the unit turned around now so we can take a look at the mixer and input section of the Synapse. As you can tell, it's a two-channel design, and there are two identical channels at work here. They both start out with a combination of XLR and quarter-inch input, and there's fan and power available on this, full 48 volts of fan and power. So if you want to use this with a condenser mic, either for instrument miking or for your vocals, this will totally handle it. There is a 3-band EQ section, and this whole layout may look familiar to you if you have used one of LR preamps, like the Venue, for example, same kind of knobs. But instead of making the EQ very specific towards, say, guitar or amplifying a particular instrument, this is really more of a general PA-like EQ section on here, and that's very useful for this particular application, and it's very easy to use. When you were just hearing me play through it, I was going completely flat. I was going through channel 1 right here, and so all my treble, mids, and bass were completely centered. But I did take this unit to a gig and found that the EQ was extremely easy to use and very musical. So not the kind of thing that you have to spend a lot of time fiddling with to get the right sound, but it's just a matter of very quickly dialing out, let's say if there's a little too much treble in the room or a little too much woofiness in the bass. It really cuts it out or dials it in, whichever one you need, very fast. There's a gain control for each one, and it has a little indicator light if you're overdriving it, so that's handy. In the same vein, there's a pad, so if your signal is too hot, you can hit the pad button and lower the input signal of that. There's a mute button for each channel, which is anyone who's gigged and switched instruments or needed to mute a channel for something knows how useful that is, and it's not part of every kind of unit like this, so very nice that backs included mute. You can reverse the phase for each channel with a little button right here, and then there's a reverb control on each channel. And the reverb is actually, it's a digital unit that Bags developed themselves, so their engineers worked on building this digital reverb particularly for this unit, and the overall master reverb select button is very easy to use, and I like this graphic interface they're using, so you have a long, medium, and a short reverb to use with this. And again, it's designed to set you up at the gig really quickly. It sounds great. I was using a bit of it when I was playing earlier, and just sounds really nice. And rather than giving you lots and lots of options, it really focuses on what most people need at the gig and to get there quick. The master section has a master volume, and it has a control for an auxiliary input, and the aux in is either quarter-inch or mini jack. So if you want to run an MP3 player or something like that through here, you can easily do that. And we have a mix out, which is an XLR output, balanced out, that you could either use to feed a bigger system or basically use it like a direct box if you were going to use this unit more like an amp, which is certainly small enough to where it sort of fits right in between whether using it as a full PA or just using it as a stage monitor. There's also a mix input, and that's an interesting design that you could either use to daisy chain multiple Synapse units, or if you need more channels than what's available on board, you could use an external mixing board and run it right here into this XLR input and have access to more channels that way. Of course, there's a standard power input right here, and your power switch is found on the back as well. So overall, easy to use, very musical functions on this. Really happy to have 48 volts of fan and power on this. And just very well thought out in what an acoustic musician might need at a typical gig. So those are some of the details on the LR Synapse. I should also mention that the guitar I was playing with earlier is a Loudon 010, and it has the LR Anthem SL pickup system installed, which is the undersaddle element pickup and the True Mic internal mic. And I'm running it through a Baggs Session DI so that I can use the XLR inputs on the Synapse. The unit will provide the best results if you move it up from the ground a bit, especially at higher volumes. And Baggs has included a standard speaker flange on the bottom of the unit, so you can rise it up to about head level or even a little bit higher depending on the size of the room, and really create the optimum sonic environment for the unit to function in. I should mention also that it weighs about 38 pounds, so it's just light enough to be able to carry it in one hand. When I took it to a gig, I was able to carry it with one hand, carry my guitar and some accessories with the other, and still walk a couple blocks to where I was going. So for many musicians, that's an important criteria, is to actually be able to carry the stuff in one trip by yourself, and the Synapse is a great choice for that if you need a lot of power in a personal PA system, either as a solo performer or even with a group, because you could run 2 channels or run a mixer into this and really have a compact system that works for a lot of applications. One of the great things about the unit is that it is able to reproduce a wide range of frequencies, and I'm going to demonstrate that with this baritone guitar that I'm holding now. This is a Mario DeSeo baritone. It has a LR Baggs M80 sound hole pickup installed here, and again I'm running it through the Baggs Session DI. And this guitar is tuned to a low B, and it really will represent kind of the lower frequency spectrum that the system is capable of reproducing. So that's the new LR Synapse. It's a great new system, and it's really designed for all acoustic instruments. The fact that it has 48 volts of fan and power means you can use condenser mics with it. So if you're playing fiddle or mandolin or dobro or really any kind of acoustic instrument that requires a great full range reproduction of the instrument sound, this is what Baggs had in mind with this. It's not just a guitar system. I wouldn't call it a guitar amp because it really is a PA, and offers that kind of full range sound that you're used to with a larger system, and it really works well for that. Of course, if you're a singer-songwriter playing guitar and singing, putting vocals through this will also work great. Or if you're a solo guitar player, like the kind of stuff I was just playing through it, it also offers more power than most acoustic guitar amps will, and whether you're using it as a monitor in a band or just by yourself in a larger room, it will really do well to amplify your guitar or other acoustic instrument. So it's a great new system that falls right into the tradition of LR Baggs, offering specifically designed pieces of gear that really work well with acoustic instruments. And do check them out and come back here to Peghead Nation for more of our gear demos. And my name is Teja Gerken. Thank you.